Call the meeting in order. Before we get going,
Gotta start to report.
before we get started, just so everybody's aware, it's gonna be a little different. To streamline things, Jason has changed the agenda order. It's kind of pretty. Yeah, well, it makes sense from what you told me, because we did a lot of duplications, so you'll see as it flows through, and we'll see if it's better, but I think.
Yeah, the idea was to put all the spending at the end, because we were talking about what the checks were before. And then we would get into the weeds and then end up re-talking about it when we get to infrastructure. So now we'll talk about everything and in the end pay for everything.
Did you open the window?
We can.
You cold? Did you turn the heat on to Auschwitz?
I just looked at.
Turn the heat up.
All right, so we called the meeting order at 9, made the minutes from the November 17th meeting. You should have gotten an email, and you have it in your packet. Any additions, deletions, corrections? I hear none. The motion to approve. Anybody but Bob?
I'll make a motion.
I'll sign it, Brian, with a Y. All, opposed? Motion carried. And here comes the bad news.
Oh, where are we at?
Correspondence.
Yeah, so there's a letter and it should be in there. We're gonna see it. Yeah, there's a letter in there from Cleveland. They wrote, they punched the numbers. They were supposed to be building that house in Almond. They weren't able to find any local contractors to work as subs, so they would have had to get subs from Rochester or Buffalo, which would cost them a premium, take away their profit margin, and they didn't want to work on the job for free. So they backed out. The next highest bid would be about 25,000 more. I think it was 3,640, and that is by the same contractor who won the bid for the Andover rehab. So we'd have to go to the next one above them. I don't feel confident of putting them on simultaneous jobs that we need, because we need to spend money. So I think that right now we just accept this withdrawal and just redirect fire, spend the money that we had for that one on Friendship or other things that were Friendship or Grover Street, and then revisit building this house when we get the next grant next year, so we can spend money and not have to worry about trying to find someone to do this building when we got a lot of other stuff going on.
Can we, at that time, we can rebid it?
Yeah, we can put it back out to bid. We can maybe I have a meeting with to talk with Habitat for Humanity from Steuben County. They might still be interested in doing it. They just couldn't crush it out this last summer, so we can maybe help them build up their volunteer base and do that. That would save 50% right there. Or maybe
Is there any
a lot.
legal notice we need to put out to the bidders that a bid on it that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we can update the bid response on the website, and I can look into that, but I don't think there is.
I just, I think we should cover our tracks, because all of a sudden, if people are expecting to see a building built based on our
Yeah.
meetings.
Well, our RFPs allow for contraction.
Yeah, but that's why I don't know.
Yeah, but he's just saying it might be nice to put something.
We have something now.
I mean, it's been our meeting.
Yeah, it's postponed, we're just not even saying anything. We never had a date, it's not like we had a date coming soon or anything, so.
Here, what about the powers that be and residents of Pullman are expecting?
I haven't really talked to anybody, a small handful myself, so. I haven't really made promises, to anybody that counts.
Is there anything in the RFP that addresses in the event of the withdrawal?
No, it just says we have the right to pull any bids, to reject any bids. We have, I think it was 90 days that we would hold on to it to make it. It just goes away. I don't think we have any obligations or anything that we have to do It'd be different if we were firing somebody, for them withdrawing, I think it's just an easier process. We're not firing anybody.
That's what I'm looking for, I'm looking through it, I don't recall any, but.
Alright, I don't want to come back and bite us in the butt. So,
Yeah, I'll look into it, I'll make sure we're doing it.
Alright,
We have a accept or anything?
maybe we should do a motion to accept this,
Yeah, might as well.
yeah. Set a motion here.
No, I don't want him to.
He doesn't want his name on the motion, that's what. I'll make that motion.
Alright,
Second by Dave.
okay, any other discussion?
Is there a possibility down the road that we can look at throwing out these plans and go with a modular home there or anything?
Yeah, we could. I mean, we
No,
could-
no, at Alvin, we cannot.
No.
Alvin has
Well,
to be
we
built
can't.
on the.
It has,
first
we have the
floor.
floodplain problem, so we would have to do it, yeah, there'd be ways to do it, we can't.
I guess, yeah, it costs.
Have to be, do it in the footprint, so it'd have to be smaller than the actual footprint, the original house, it was a big footprint, so we could probably do it.
I'm just,
Yeah, but we can,
Well, you and I spoke that the issue was the way we processed that site. That, so if we went through the process again regarding the floodplain and those things, then we wouldn't have that proposal to rebuild in the footprint in the first place, what we said. And so the DEC or whoever wouldn't have put that in as a rule necessarily. We have to talk. So
Yeah.
if we wanna do something a different shape, we have to go back and visit those entities that had those.
yeah, we could probably get approval to do something minor, you know, we're not, you know, cause we're not, they just want minimal ground disturbance. Is the main,
And we've
so
already-
probably use.
We've already raked that site, I mean, it's basically a greenfield at this point.
Yeah.
So. They may be more willing, because we were talking to them before we even demolished the property. So, yeah, it's just a different set of circumstances.
yeah, I understand we throw out the cost of what our engineering firm is, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
cost ratio wise. I'm looking, I don't know what these manufacturing houses cost anymore, but I would think there was a significant difference between
Oh, yeah.
600,000 and
Yeah, for sure.
a manufactured house, as long as you got zoning over there, right?
No,
You might say that they have zoning, but they have no planning board, no ZBA appointed.
Well, if you did, I mean, we
But
should.
they do have zoning.
We should obviously.
but there's trailers right on Main Street. Right, you can put a trailer on Main Street, right,
They're outside.
outside.
And they're gone by the.
Yeah.
Somebody.
So I'm just saying, I'm.
Perhaps I wouldn't say that.
We didn't get us report them all.
Hear us?
He's froze. Oh, here we go.
Good morning, Clinton, can you hear?
No internet, or.
You just raised his hand.
That's unstable.
Season's greetings, Clinton Brown is here.
Is anybody else, can you see if anyone else is on?
No, 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 keep on.
Okay. We're having a little bit of trouble here, technical difficulties, Clinton, but thanks for coming.
Oh, I thought it was just me.
Now it's on.
Alright, so treasurer's report, starting with LBI 0379, is that correct?
On page 1 of 4, there's pages on the bottom.
Oh. Geez. Fine. LBI phase 2, 002.
This is our demo money, so this is the money we just spent, to demo the Bolivar House and the Whitesville houses. So we have about 173 left to use for demo. We have some demos coming up, obviously, we have 63 Seneca Street coming up. We have some selective demo work at Grover Street, the garage there, we could probably use this money for that. We also have money, we have abatement, effective demo, selective demo of 46 Main Street Friendship, and we have that burnout. So this is our pretty much unrestricted, not unrestricted, but it's very less restricted for demo. You don't need to infill, so this money. is pretty old.
63 Seneca, what was the burnout?
46 Depot Street Friendship.
No, the burnout is depot.
Depot, yeah.
Depot, yeah. And 63 Seneca is coming down to the,
73% of it is standing firm.
it's not burn, but it's escaped it.
Yeah.
So there were three, garage, 63 Seneca, 46 Depot.
46 and 12 Depot, that whole chunk is getting 4 to 12.
So four,
Yeah, that's our goal, is to get all those down with this money, so we'll start.
That should be plenty, I would think.
Well, the burnout's gonna be friable asbestos, so
They've done some work for it, you see that?
Yes.
Yeah, so they cleared out the sidewalk,
Yeah,
they just pushed it out back,
all right.
and they gave us an order to board the windows up 6 feet all around, so.
Do we own that yet?
Did you signed the documents, right? Or you signed?
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Yeah, but we. In anticipation that we will own it soon, we're just gonna do it, so they're not. Cause otherwise the guy's getting fined, he's not gonna do it, and then we're coming into fines instead of just an order. You're correct, so we're just gonna.
My only concern is insurance.
Yeah.
They moved the van.
We don't have to go, yeah, the van's moved. We're just gonna take some plywood from the house next door and just set it up to comply. We don't gotta get on ladders or nothing. We do it all from the outside.
All right.
who's we?
Me, John. Well, by we, I mean John.
I'm not worried about anything falling from above.
No, it's,
Most of it's down.
the stuff had fallen into the road, that's why they cleaned it up. The snow fence is removed from the sidewalk, you can walk in front of it, it's safe to walk in front of it, enough where they didn't snow fence it anymore.
Let's stick to the financial report.
Oh, yeah.
So you already spent to demolish the one in Bolivar out of these funds?
Correct,
In Whitesville.
and Whitesville. And that's noted in here, right, Kate, that is,
Yeah, that's included in the demo costs of
the ones that we
the.
use to go to available, so that.
You can give that other report when we get them.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
All right, page 2,
Page 2.4 is the 2.2 capital 0482 grant.
on the back of that page.
Yep, in the back, so it's 204, this is the grant, this is our
Does he say 2 and 4?
204. This is the 1.036 million that we had gotten, we're down to 706 to spend. This is going to be a lot of it, three something of it, 310-ish is gonna be for the rehab of Andover. So that's half right there, and then the other half was going to be to have to start the new build. So we're gonna be moving that over to probably Friendship or Grover, depending on how the specs come in for that. We'll talk about that later. Assume that we gotta spend this down to. It was a target number. Our target number is to get it down to like 100,000 left, and then before we can start getting it's before we even know if we get the $2 million grant.
I don't know the dollar amount, but it's
But it's
95%. Has to.
So
Who's originally 1.2?
originally 1.136. So yeah,
Since the admin came out of there.
250. Isn't that?
so anything
You
once
gotta
we
be
get below.
250?
Yeah, once we get below 250, we can start tapping into that 2 million. So that's good, I mean, that's doable, we can do that in the next few months, hopefully. Then operations grant on page 3 of 4. 0379, that is the money that we can get advanced. You see in the bottom right corner, we have 83,000 of that to spend down. That is our normal day-to-day operations funds and there's also a little bit of admin in all the other grants, but this is our main admin. And then on the back, page 404. This is our general funds and sales from proceeds from things that we've sold. You'll see that the important numbers are on the bottom. So for cash flow purposes, if we have to pay a contractor, we pay the contractor out of this account and then get reimbursed when the grant comes in when needed. So right now we have actually in the bank is 49 minus the checks that haven't cleared. That's one check in there that hasn't cleared. That's that we're issuing today. So all in all, once we're reimbursed, we'll have about 190 sitting in there. That's
We've asked for that,
Then
what would it be for?
some of it, I think. Do we have all of it requested yet?
We've asked for. Maybe. I have one disbursement request for you to sign, the rest is.
How much is that one?
Out there. This is 130.
130 plus we have the ones that we're waiting on from the demos that we just did. So we did the demos, we paid for the demos, but they didn't, we got it. They kicked the couple back for remember the long year back thing that was just happened so they paused that. That's why I got the checks pre-written last meeting, so as soon as I got the okay, they sent that, so now it's in the works, so we'll get that back to, so we should be back to this. We should be up to the 190 soon.
But that's not. Was that physically?
We should have physically 190 soon, well, but by then we'll probably spend some else, other down a little bit, but all intents and purposes that, she said that that's what?
131.
131 we're asking for this week, which so in a couple of weeks, we'll get that 131. And then the other one's already requested for another like 50 or 60, I think it was.
Yeah, there's one that they said I should check by the end of the day today and let them know if it hasn't gotten a deposit to 60,000, 62,599 or something. It's on the page 1. 62,779.15 was the one that included the demo money and they held it up because of environmental. So they said it should come in this week.
And we've been getting ahead. We're not totally cash flowing all our projects with our money. We do a little bit as necessary. So if we have a project, say a roof, and the roof is $60,000, we'll request all 60,000 from HCR and then do progress payments out of that. But we can't always do that. So sometimes other things happen and we can't get the whole amount first and then divvy it up as we go. Sometimes we have to ask for it in chunks, and so our general fund is used to cash flow these projects, but it's not the sole source. And as these projects get bigger, we should think about, instead of having to use the actual cash, we could have a line of credit set up with the bank that allows for the same exact thing to happen, a cash flow and reimbursement with the grant fund. To stop it from having to be attached to our actual cash on hand, but I know a lot of other land banks have a line of credit for the same reason, just to work the grant pink out that month or 2 months to 6 week plan. So
Normally, most places I've been involved with that have any kind of real activity, cash flow based, they have some sort of line of credit just to, keep those. We've been lucky that we haven't really rammed into that.
But I'd hate to have a opportunity come up that we need when to purchase something, we have it, but it's all in cash flow.
I don't like borrowing money, because that's what you're doing basically.
Well, my hope would be that we basically never have to, but that if you're going to get the grant, but it just hasn't come in this week and you have all this stuff to pay, then you'd be able to pay your bills.
the move in New York with the cross bonds will be a good example, because there's a lot of that stuff happening that has to be preloaded, like creating a road, getting engineers paid, getting civil engineers paid, getting surveyors paid. And it being such a big project, it's not like right now we cover it with a survey, a land survey,
Cheap.
about $1,200. to $1,600. Now when we're doing it for this development site, it's gonna be more like 30 to 40K one time, just the initial, get the surveyor out there. That's gonna really deplete our cash flow if we're using the cash flow to also fund the small projects that we got, rehab projects and whatnot going on around the county. So to be able to pull that off, someone's gonna have to buck up some money to get started, and then that grant money comes in later. But they're not gonna award us that grant, so if we get this crossmod grant, it's equivalent to about $4 million grant. We think that, so each unit costs about 300,000, that times 13 units. And a little bit extra for the site work and stuff, so I'm thinking of it, 13 units is a $4 million grant that we're going after. Somebody's gonna have to fit some kind of large chunk. 4 million is a big project. It's just what we normally do, put in 10, 15, 20 to get us the project started on our own. That's what we do. It's gonna need to be bigger.
I wouldn't go for the line of credit until we have one of these big ones.
What I'm saying, it'd be nice if when that came in, we get a $4 million grant and we need to get a road in, someone needs to pony up $250,000. But just to get us till the grant awarded, because they're not gonna award us that grant and with money on hand, it's gonna be.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, I'm just,
until if we go to the bank and we say, look, we have this grant, been approved, it's coming in. And it's X number of $1 million, then I think they'd be more willing to do that.
yeah, we have $1 million.
Right now, we're,
Sitting on $1 million now, that's no chump change. And then the next one's 2 million, and then the other one, so in the next 2 months, we could go there and say we have $7 million worth of grants awarded.
right, so that was just
Yeah.
my thinking was.
Maybe after we get the two, anyway.
Either whichever one comes first.
Yeah.
Go to the bank, maybe you can do your pre-work and find out who's got the best ratings and all that kind of debris, but. Not do the application until they actually have. $1, $2, $4 million project approved somewhere.
We need to create some kind of policy language. We've never really dove into it that deep. We can't just get a line of credit. We need to have a line of credit policy or something attached to a policy that we already have. That allows us to, not only allows you guys to do it, but has rules and ways.
Policy and procedures.
We got a procedure this thing out, so it's not, just borrow money. There's no way we should be like, I'm like, Dar, I think we're a lot of us in this room are the same, where why borrow money? We can use cash.
I agree. It's just,
So there should be some
Timing
tight rules, yeah.
Well, that's the things that can be ironed out before we get the money. When you get the finance committee meeting, get that
Yeah.
worded out and.
Because when you ask for, so it's gonna change how I write grants, because if we have a line of credit, I'm gonna have to start counting in the line of credit, in the grant for line of credit, interest. So hopefully we can, like, sometimes we wanna have to pay, 30 days, you don't get an interest. But if we have to pay interest, we shouldn't have to pay interest out of our pocket, that should also come from the grant. So I have to figure out how that would weigh out to it, but yeah, there's a lot more to it than just doing it.
Yeah, we got work to do on it. All right, do we have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
so moved by Dave.
Dave, second. Brian, the line. Any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. Funding.
1 second, I'm just writing a note. So we got like I said, we got 2 grants in right now that are probably gonna be awarded around the same time. We got a response from the Move in New York grant that we submitted. Well, let me go one at a time. Capital Projects Grant, we submitted that last week and they said we will be in touch in a couple weeks. We submitted the cross-mod Move in New York for 13 units. And they said we will be back in, what did it say, Kate? Back in touch for 3, it sounded like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, I think they said. That they'll let us know, which is pretty good, so we're gonna find out about both of them about the same time. And in the meantime, we're trying to spend on that other funding, so hopefully we can, when we get awarded, we're ready to accept the 2 million, and then the cross mod will happen immediately. So we might have just went from 2 years ago, $500,000 budget to a $7 million budget in 3 years. So yeah, that's how, where we are at funding, we're just waiting on those.
You wanna take care of Clinton?
Well, but,
Yeah, he's in new business, cause he's got 2 contracts for reason.
We can move them. Up, you know. You know.
He does have a lot of our projects, are you in a hurry, Clinton?
I'm here for you.
Okay, yeah, let's just do our normal meeting.
Okay.
He's part of a lot of the projects, so any update we give him, he's gonna. We'll be handy.
Thank you for your courtesy, but I don't have a meeting till 11.
Okay, well, and we're all fast. Ready, Brian, I can start.
Yeah, we're on infrastructure, the board projects in your packets back a little ways. Yeah,
I still put everything in the way I normally would, my bad.
after some invoices.
I put everything in the packet and I always did, like I didn't change everything.
Back, farther in the back.
So see, but it's them.
Behind the ball. Invoice.
It's my bad, I put everything in the wrong order, like we did
There
it,
you go.
change the agenda.
All right, go ahead.
Old habits. Okay, so no updates on Thayer Street in Houghton. No updates on the Old Bank Cuba Cultural Center, do we have any updates on that? That's something we can just. Just wait to hear, yeah.
There's no money to buy it yet, so that's why.
Yeah, but there's still. And that's
There's a
still,
contract
yeah.
between county and the EDO, so it's. still
oh,
moving.
that did happen.
Yes.
It is not. All right, going down to current inventory 7776, formerly known as 26 Main. The contractor has withdrew from the project, we discussed that earlier. Going forward, I think we just focus on other projects right now, but we can talk about that as we get down the line. The next item, 15 Second Street, we have the contract with, we're waiting for environmental approval. The final next steps here to finalize the contract, get a schedule of values from the contractor, get the building permits and get them 25% for starting materials and whatnot. Hope that starts, we're aiming for the next 30 days to get that rolling fast. 31 Grover. We've got this SHPO approval is, has to be redone, so that's an update that I should update on here. It says SHPO approved on 31 Grover. We have to go back and redo that, but so we're working on environmentals again at this site just to make sure that
It is or it isn't approved.
it is not, it is, we're getting it reapproved because we changed the scope of work from last time. I'm just going back through and redoing a lot of stuff that's been sitting around collecting dust, start environmentals in there.
SHPO requires very specific information when you apply to them. If you change that information, they want a new submission. It's a pain in the butt, but it's the way they do it.
And this one is it's in historical district, we're doing historical work to it, so, just wanna make sure that they're on board, but that's all intents and purposes, this one is ready to begin to go out for RFP. Clinton's been working with, David Scholl, the other architect. Because when the construction drawings are done for this, we'll put it right out to bid for full rehab, and that rehab is gonna be a prescribed rehab. So it coincides with the historic components of the building. We'll be getting in there with an electrician or an HVAC, or a plumber, or an HVAC person. We're to start to lay out the mechanicals, look at some other things, so that is moving slowly, but it will be moving quicker soon. I have no updates on 72 to 178 Wellsville, or East State Street, Wellsville, 4 to 6 Main. None of these are my updates. I have other updates for this, but, yeah, so we are still under contract moving we don't really own this property yet. We did a site, phase 1 walkthrough I did with,
We own 4 to 6. Main Street.
yeah, it hasn't, we haven't got the deed yet. So,
Yeah.
What? 4 to 6?
yeah,
You sure?
I'm sure.
What's the holdup?
I don't know.
Oh, we had that last week.
Lawyer stuff.
I guess is the, never mind.
Yeah, we're recording. So we're gonna get, so the next step here is we gotta get an RFP out for temporary electric. Cleaning up the site and stabilizing that front wall in that middle load bearing wall, or not, I don't know if it's load bearing, but the middle separating wall in the basement, that it's all offset. So we have, Clinton has, drafted the work that needs to be done for that to go out to RFP. Again, just waiting for some environmentals and 8 Main Street,
We wanna wait till we have the deed and possession before we, we're trying to,
Yeah.
all load already, if it doesn't matter.
yeah. 8 Main Street. We pretty much have combined that with 4 to 6, so we've been calling it 4 to 8 lately because they all go together, even though there's a little space outside.
I don't like that. I see them as two totally different projects.
For, it's, it really does benefit to be able to all in one thing, especially when we're trying to, get, like for the state oversight. Once this one catches up. Some things.
They are separate right now, but referring to this 4 to 8,
It's perfect.
yeah.
So we need a feasibility report. This, remember, the floor is missing in there, the back of the building's falling up, but it doesn't mean it's not salvageable. And a better choice to save it than to demo it. So we need a feasibility report and a stabilization plan for that. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. 12 Depot Street. Needs to be demoed. That's next to 4 to 6 Depot Street. Which is, where's that? Not really.
That was 4 people, wasn't it?
Yeah, I should move there. Should have been right with it, that's okay, we'll move there. So 12 Depot Street's that little one that's gonna get that demoed with 4 to 6. 63 Seneca, that bids, that's out for bid for
Back
demo.
up 1 second,
Yeah.
are we demoing them at the same time?
Yeah, I think so, I think that makes sense.
but-
Yeah, but in the other one, well, I'll think about it when we get done. The, 63 Seneca Street's out to bid. We hope to put a cross mod there, it has to be demoed, the bids for that will be back January 9th. It's by 3 o'clock. That
What
one
day of
is
the week is that?
Friday. Before our meetings, we can open. I need to have enough days, and we have an early meeting next month.
It's gonna go longer, can't it?
Yeah, then we're whole, then it's 2 months, because we gotta wait for the next
Next
meeting.
meeting.
Alright, so the demos at 607, 617 have been completed. About 90%, just need a little grading that was tough to do with all the snow, so hopefully that gets 100% completed. This, the next couple days. 111 Main Street in Bolivar has been demolished and created.
Can you go back to Whitesville,
yeah.
cause I was still on Wellsville when you
Sorry.
started. Oh, Whitesville.
So
What'd you say?
Whitesville, they are down, they just need to, little touch-up grading, so but the buildings have been demolished and hauled away. But due to weather, some of the grading still needs to be touched up. 111 Main Street in Bolivar, that was complete. We'll talk about this later, we have a co-development agreement ready to be executed with Habitat, so we can get this property out from under us and get a new home built there, that's someone else's effort. The antique barn. No updates for that. I have no updates for 2 Main Street, the TC's Diner, that purchase offer has been made. I'll do a follow-up with the attorney this week as to all the things they have going on. They have several items on their desk from us, so I'll get it all in front of me, so I know what I'm
I
talking
have a
about.
question about that property. It's includes Ashland. I see you've got it, you're marketing it, is ready to roll. Are we gonna be landlords? What happens? She gets with somebody to move in, and we made a purchase offer on it, we buy it. She gets somebody to continue the restaurant, we're landlords.
Yeah, I guess we sell it, I mean, we can.
And so I'm just, there's
We are.
two things going on, and I don't know.
Do we have to yell at anybody?
We are. Well, you know, so.
No. I don't want to do that, but.
Yeah, no, we can,
Just, now's the time we should discuss it, I think.
Well, until it's your property in hand, I'm not gonna stop much again.
right, yeah, and I don't, we want.
Okay, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully, what
And I
I'm
am
telling
pushing
you,
for that deal to
I
move
was
forward.
gonna say, if she finds a buyer before we get it.
Correct.
he's saying she finds a rent.
But
But we'd like someone just to buy it from us, even if it's even if it's
So
through.
do we know what's going on with our purchase offer? Oh, it's been a couple.
No, again, I'm gonna list out all the things that Peter Degan's office has, and this is one of the several things that we're waiting on, so.
And we're gonna talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, well, no, this one, I'm just saying, we're gonna go back to Wack and I'm gonna get an update from them for every single thing, but right now, this is all the only updates I have is.
All right.
Without giving.
I just want us on the same page.
Yeah, no, I don't think that we'd be landlords, but we definitely could work with someone
Well,
for them to become
How
owners.
about asking the bigger question? Are we against being a landlord?
Yes, no, we don't wanna be landlords for residential, I never even thought about commercial.
Because we're gonna end up with 4 properties in Friendship on their main street and directly adjacent. And if we get some of that fixed up, let's say a couple of storefronts, but we're still working upstairs.
How's that work as a nonprofit for a landlord? Does it matter?
No, I mean, it can be done, I mean, it's
It
changed your policy.
somewhat
procedures,
matters. I mean, case in point is Alfred State College is a not-for-profit. They're tax exempt, but they have certain businesses on campus it's taxable. So.
Yeah, we still end up having to pay taxes on that.
Yeah.
We still have to,
I was just gonna ask you, before you raise your hand, Clinton, you wanna weigh in?
Just have one small comment that I think the strategy to have a bigger package to offer a redeveloper is a good one because these buildings are significantly distressed. And to be able to have an operation, potentially one entity, take them all over, will make spread some of the costs across all buildings and potentially make them more attractive to a redeveloper.
Okay,
Big development.
I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, right? Ashley, just keep us updated if you can,
Yeah,
as much
I
as you
mean,
can.
there is interest in the property. My objective would be for that to be untaxable, so clearly I would want to see somebody purchase that property.
So what would we need to know is the question in order for this board to make a decision
we need to know about what, about the.
about
Being like,
being a landlord
Right.
as this entity.
I think if we were a landlord, it should be in a, like, lease to own scenario. To help someone get a leg up towards.
All
Even
responsibilities
just
are
more
made.
a gap, like a gap
And
loan.
I think that's a real option, like,
Better to loan, I
That's
think it'd be better to loan people money to buy our own buildings than it is to.
correct.
Expect someone coming in already handed.
Yeah, or just or rent somebody month by month while they look for commercial lending, that's, I don't have faith that commercial lending's out there for me.
Maybe you should do some conversation, talking with your fellow land bank people about the tax implications of renting our properties and how.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them have, CDFI or not CDFI, what is a subsidiary, some kind of
Well,
subsidiary.
that's what I was thinking, was you need to have a separate entity if we start renting.
And it's not gonna be 5 minutes to put them together,
No.
so.
No, we could, right, or we could gift or transfer this property to someone who's set up like an Accord or a CCA or a Hanover Historic, someone who's, or a private person who's, we could, I don't know, there's a lot of
You
different
could do
options,
some-
but I don't think there's really much holding us from doing that, so, but to properly do it for long term, like we're gonna be landlords now, then I think you go through subsidiary. If it's just like a one-time thing or like a rare thing where we're just doing it to provide, to not have to relocate somebody who's already there, or like in this scenario, to keep it turnkey so it doesn't be, you know, so disinvestment doesn't happen. Then we could come up with a lot of things. We could do it, we could not take money from them. They could have free rent in lieu of, and then just get it on the sales end or something. I don't know. There's a
Well,
lot of things you can do,
you're
right?
doing a lot of if and by
I don't
scenario,
think
why
that-
don't you talk to the land bank attorney with state?
Yeah, I
And
think,
see what our options are and then report back.
yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of options, so I just.
Okay. All right, moving on to Ford Depot.
Ford Depot, I want to get a cleanup plan for that. So you'll see later in the agenda, I'm requesting to go out and find an environmental specialist who will help us work on this property, the one next to it that's coming down, and 4 to 6 or 4 to 8, all those properties we have over there, to do a one-time cleanup plan, should we go in there, look at the different asbestos and different hazards that we have to work with all these properties and do it all at one time? My fear is that we go and do it, no, this one is collapsed roof and all that, so if we treat it as all friable, it could cost us over $100,000. But if we spend $1,000 on an environmental consultant who comes up with the right plan, we might be able to do something like get rid of some of the debris as friable and save some of it and then test again later. Gets rid of some, go back in and test, gets rid of some, go back and test until we can come up with some clean tests that don't have to throw away blocks at that rate of tipping fees for asbestos. Have to throw out all the blocks if we don't have to. So, and the asbestos debris in 4-6 Main is fibrous, it's airborne powders and demolition. How do I bid that? I don't feel confident enough to go out and bid that to be cleaned up the proper way that an environmental specialist would know on dampening and all the you know, all the procedures gonna be needed for that unique scenario. So might as well do it as one. So that's for 4-6, and then this would go, this Depot Street would also, the house next to it would also be torn down at the same time. I don't think I think that one is, I don't think we've tested that one, but I don't see that one coming up friable. And if we do that, we could probably be abated easily as a little house.
I think we did test, I think it's free,
Yeah, I mean, there's,
I'm pretty sure, I think I walked through with them, yeah.
so yeah, I know we've done a lot of them, but so all in all, that's where we are with that one. I think we can get it cleaned
That
up,
makes
but a plan makes sense. And 10, West Main Street hardware, I don't have anything for that right now because it is, we're waiting to get that $2 million grant to see if we can even purchase it.
And that has an existing business in it, and there we are again, being the landlord, as soon as we take possession of it.
Yeah.
Or are we booting these people out, you know?
Please don't.
So. Just,
Yeah,
we need answers to all those questions about being landlords. Because it's certainly right on the horizon.
I think a lot of it's gonna be our discretion, so we should be thinking about what we wanna do, assuming that we have all this.
Let's get it back.
I don't know.
You know,
Before we get out of friendship, can you bring up the map of friendship, being that I'm not familiar with friendship that much? Can you point out the actual properties that we own or potentially like 10, I know where 10 hardware is. But I don't know, the depot part of it is blowing my mind here. Is that the-
Right across from the fire department.
Around it, we're behind it.
Yeah, but is it the two properties side by side or is it the one that goes through?
It's the burned out apartment building and then the house to the right.
Okay.
Yeah, I stand outside. Before you get the cozy, what needs to be right here.
Played there.
Got food.
It was scary. Did a lot of things.
Food back in the day, when I was one of the farms.
It was
Okay, so we own.
almost always a fight.
We own this building, scoot it up this way a little bit. Let's start down here and move up. So we own this property, these are gone now. So we own this property all the way back to this road. Don't own this, and then we own from back of this building. Back of this building,
Yeah.
back of this building, like over here.
yeah,
So this is 4, 6, 8,
10,
2,
12,
4, 6, 8,
hardware,
10, and there's that gap. And then,
So, just a question on the barn, you got noted on here, under contract, what does that mean?
it means it hasn't closed yet.
Oh, okay,
It
so we
might have closed this last week
we
there.
put in an offer on it,
Yeah, it's been accepted and all that.
Yeah.
The owner's in California.
refreshment, oh, is that the guy from California?
Yeah.
Well, so is the,
So,
So is it from different California, different ends of the state, one Southern California, one Northern
all
California.
right, okay,
Yeah, so this piece. And then. We go,
That whole
this
block.
comes out to about here, this one comes out, so it goes. So, and then go that way. And then this is the burnout. And this is the little house we bought.
okay,
So this is actually has a fence that goes back like this. And so this is the burnout and yeah, and this little tiny house, and this house,
show them that lot
the
line,
lot line for this goes like
just real small.
this lot like that, so then this house owns this. Then this Verizon building owns this.
now, and at one time there was conversation about possibly in a hospital doing a subset.
Hospital,
But they-
we were hoping they would buy this, Bay, and they didn't.
Okay, that's the building they were talking, I was further
We
down
were
the
trying
street
to-
then, okay.
Yeah, we try to buy it on behalf, and hopefully sell it to them, but this, there. We don't have much parking back here, there's a guy who owns this property, who may or may not, we haven't talked to him. So if we could get this lot, that would be very good for parking for us, but it's not guaranteed, so we're thinking.
You sell it. You said he'd sell it.
This could be parking across the street,
Right,
parking and.
right. Okay, thank you.
Question. Would the medical unit be interested in, they were interested in the bank building? Would they be interested in the storefront building?
Oh, I'm sure they probably would. My guess.
That would.
What?
Around 4 to 6 short fronts.
Yeah.
I bet you they would,
That would cross the table.
by the time they're done,
Oh. Okay.
I'd be willing to invest it.
Well,
If they're interested in that, then why would they be interested when it's already set up?
Well,
and if it needs,
never mind.
Sure.
question answered.
Do you wanna talk about four?
I've been ghosted,
Wait,
no response, phone call or text.
okay, so we have no updates on 4 to 6. 4. I can't.
Haven't heard a word since we were there.
Okay.
So they'll take $1.
I texted her yesterday, said we have a meeting tomorrow, I'd love to discuss. Are you still interested in working with land bank? Left a message like Thursday or Friday as well, and nothing back.
Alright.
Okay.
All I got for properties and interest.
I know you guys wanna go back on.
No, good. Partners property,
Yeah, we did those.
okay, properties of interest, we talked about all those. So housing study,
Contractor has been selected for that and,
Was approved at legislature last week. So,
is there a kickoff meeting or anything we got for that coming
not
up?
scheduled,
Not scheduled, but it's.
till the contractor gets the actual county's signed contract, they're not gonna do anything.
Yeah,
So. We'll be optimistic. Beginning
beginning of the year. Brownfield site environmental work was done at Friendship locations. That'll be a little while before that comes up.
There's a thing tomorrow,
And that's what I was
Nice.
saying. Tomorrow night, the Brownfield Community Meeting at the Hall Library at 6:30. Or 6:30.
it's only an hour.
no public comment.
No, I hope, there's presentations, but I think that there will be interaction.
I don't even know it's gonna be now.
Mostly because I know the people running it are kind of like,
All right, director's report.
We just did the project we got the Move in New York grant and the LBI grants. That was a big undertaking, to be able to crank out that Move in New York grant was impressive, we couldn't have done it without Houghton and Canada and Whitesville and Wellsville coming together and making that happen was pretty impressive.
I was impressed
Kate
with
worked-
he had it submitted.
Yeah, it was, we crushed it out, Kate worked her butt off, we had help from
Thank you.
everybody, and we got, I mean, it's a strong application. It's a very strong application, especially how quick we got it out and knowing that. There's they said about 200 and Syracuse is doing 60 themselves. So the three land banks who did the pilot program, they're doing like 60, 40 and 30. So that's almost all of them right there. But seeing how it has to be community plan, I don't see many municipalities ready to pop these things in on this first round, so we might have an advantage of getting it in so quick.
Is it all or none? You get 13 or none?
I think so, there's a minimum of 10.
10 anyway.
They might say, I mean, they could say, because we did 10 of them in Houghton and then 2 in Whitesville, 1 in. They might say, you know what, you're extending yourself a little around the county, why don't you just focus on these 10? They might say that, but that would be a bummer because we were hoping to get the 3 and elsewhere where the roads were being built and. You know, we had kind of have a plan of how, because like 60% is gonna be the first ADA accessible one for people in Equine specifically like that. And then we're gonna use that model to make the other ones ADA accessible. in time, so we kind of have a deeper plan that we can put in there's only so much space we had in the application, but I think we have a good plan.
Good.
Next month, we're gonna begin this 15 main rehab. I put a placeholder here of rebid 26, all new build, but I don't. We can talk about that later, but I don't think that that's the right way to go. The demo for 63 Seneca Street says release, I released it this morning, so we're already on our way. And the abatement consulting, I kind of briefly talked about that just a minute ago, about how we should get an environmental consultant to help us with the cleanup planning for that, and that's all I got. Approvals for HCR, I'm trying to get ahead of them. I've been redoing a lot of them with this in anticipation, because a lot of our work was done in 2023, and then we just have summaries and costs. So now we're getting into whole business where we can vote.
And the first one, we can take off the agenda.
Now, do you want to revisit this, want this on next month's agenda without using the T word?
If I get communication back, I'll let you know. I'd say no, unless you hear.
Both of those?
For both properties, yes.
I never had a conversation about 1544. We went and looked at it after Ford Street. And it was very appealing to us. We had told them that we might be interested in it, but not really. They were more interested in Ford. Really, we're looking for a number from us, and my conversation was gonna be, you throw a number at us. And also say.
Yeah, and if you wanna kick me their number, cause I know it will put you one off.
I'm gonna say, you wanna be careful about stepping out of here.
Yeah, I didn't even really think about this now. If you wanna send me numbers, it can put you one off of this thing, and I
Yeah,
can probably
you
be
got it.
more aggressive than you.
Yeah. All right,
So we'll try one more month.
okay. Clint Brown feasibility 8 Main Street.
This was tabled last month, so it means the motion will come off the table.
I'll make it.
Second.
I think I gotta put it on the table, Dar, so it makes sense.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed, motion carried.
So this is that 8 Main Street needs a feasibility study. This, we go to the bullet items that shows you what we're putting for the money here. Or wait, is there?
this is
Half and half.
two loose sheets,
Yeah, the 2 sheets that have Flint Brown Company, green print.
they're not, it's not in the packet, it's the loose sheet.
So if you remember, we had a feasibility study done at 4 to 6 Main Street, we have feasibility study done. This one is a little beyond that, because that was very preliminary. This one, if correct me if I'm wrong, Glenn, but this one goes beyond that, and
Hold on a second.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, so I didn't write it going on with it.
Yeah, I don't have. I have page 3, but not 1. I have 1, but not 3.
I don't think.
Oh, that's right. There's one right?
Not me, I grabbed it,
Not your packet.
grabbed it last.
Yeah, that's in the back. No, it was a late edition, actually. Well, this came in Friday.
What's that?
I think this week.
I don't think, I sent it out to the group, but now that you said it, I think we had something different.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I need 3 cake.
Around the table.
One, but not 3 cake.
You got a
Yeah.
one?
See what happens when the stapler doesn't work? All hell breaks.
Oh, that's a
I
mistake.
gave my one to Hatcher.
Okay.
All right, so what are we doing here?
Stapler?
Motion, I understand.
So this goes a little bit, I'm just kind of introducing it for you, and then I'll kick it over to you, but this is, remember we did a feasibility study that came out really well for 4 to 6, we got those renderings. This, to me, at first glance, looks like it goes a little deeper than that by helping us with the bidding and reviewing these things and tying this into the other project, because I know that, yeah, they are 2 separate projects, so what you're talking about there, but when we're hiring someone to rip off the back of the buildings, we're gonna do it all at once. If we're gonna have somebody do the plumbing, we should everyone do it all at once, stuff like that, so they are one project with 2 buildings, really 3 buildings, but it just gets confusing with certain stuff. So Glenn, I'll let you go from here and, just describe what we're getting for our money and compare it to what we did as fees for the feasibility on Felton Hall, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Jason. We have been inside 8 West Main Street. The first floor is 50% collapsed into the basement. Yet the side walls and the front wall are in good shape. The roof appears to be in good shape because you can see it from the second floor. There's a stairway that accesses the second floor. The approach is likely to be to reconstruct this building. It's likely to be after 1900 because it is masonry. It's called ordinary construction, and it is relatively simple to reconstruct the collapsed floor. It's likely the floor collapsed because of the roof leaks were concentrated where there are structural components. However, this is more complicated because the rear portion, approximately 20 to 25% of it, is in collapsing. The wall is separating. Whether it was the addition that's separating or not, it showed up on that aerial photograph you had earlier of Friendship. You can see a line across the roof where the area of separation is. So this looks at what, with 4-6 for the historic tax credits, we needed to stay within the same footprint of the building. Here we've got a little more complication in terms of issues. And while they may be packaged together, they're essentially two different buildings that don't have anything to do with each other. Yet removing the back of it will allow for parking in the back and accessibility in the back. We spent considerably more on 4-6 because it was a bigger and more complicated building. This building is less size, so it's a little less than the previous cost. We do work on an hourly basis. It gives us flexibility to meet your questions as they may arise during the process. We would be engaging Peter Radka, who's a structural engineer and very good at this work. He's a real treasure. And David Shell, architecture, who's very strong on the technical. He's been to the building also. This will be, I think, 4 months of work, roughly. And that's a summary. I'm glad to answer any questions.
The question for Jason, did we get the deed on this yet?
No, we haven't got any tax sale deeds sent to us yet, but I know they went through, right? They went through legislature, they did twice. Yeah, they went through committee
Only last week, I
last
think,
week, yeah.
the last piece of their approval.
Yeah, you're also through, so.
So you're saying that on this building, the part that's separated was an addition? To the original building, it looks like?
It's not safe to go in there, so we're not certain, but it appears to be some sort of joint in the building that has been altered over the time. And it's part of a 3-building union block. Union blocks were a thing for Southern Tier communities. You see them in Springville, for instance, in Erie County, where either someone built 3 separate buildings and put one facade on them, but sold each building separately, or there were existing buildings on which a new facade was attached. This one is a really interesting building because I've never in all my career seen a building which has window hoods with union blocks spelled out in individual letters above each window. So, but you know that the other portion of the western portion is the building's been removed and the facade's been retained. That's not going to be a strategy for historic tax credits, which are going to be required. And we're not going to be required to build out to the full footprint as we are at 4-6 just to get enough apartments in there to make it financially feasible. This one could be simpler and more attractive to a developer with less experience and less risk in working with a smaller footprint and potentially having 1 or 2 apartments on the second floor and commercial space on the first floor. I hope that answers your question.
If that all figures out. With that back, I don't know. Third anyway, that building can come off. You'd have to put another foundation wall in to build a new back wall.
Yes, but that's not that could be a concrete block wall, of residential nature because the load would not be very big, very heavy. The soil is a very solid soil. Peter Radke is familiar with those soils, the structural engineer. On the other hand, it could, like 4-6, require to rebuild its existing envelope just to get enough rentable floor area to justify the project. So these are the things to be explored in this feasibility study. What the headline is, we look at what does it take to make this building attractive to a private developer to undertake, fulfilling your mission.
Okay.
Any other questions for Clinton?
Okay, Clinton.
For me,
Well, all these projects. I guess I never realized that we didn't have the deed for 4-6. And that we weren't the actual owner.
we had, but we did get a, notarized site control affidavit. It spells out that we have permission to do, we're trying to cover our bases that way.
You didn't get that tax option, did you? You got 8.
Right, no, 46 we got from the Fred,
Oh, right, that's right, that's a strong point.
and we have,
So I guess, I mean, I'd be fine with doing this work. But pending getting paperwork that we actually own the thing.
yeah,
This one is strictly 8, it's a project.
Right.
And that's county. Waiting on paperwork from the county.
Which encourages us to keep beating their door down.
the county,
Get on Brazil. Otter, if you want.
yeah, they wanna do it all at once, they wanna do it when they send out everybody, so they do it once, no matter, but. Yeah,
I don't
like I said, I'll be
It's up to
talking
you
to the
guys.
lawyer's office to make sure that things are moving along.
Yeah, the lawyer in down there is either overwhelmed or whatever, but I'm on another committee that I'm now waiting for 3 months for just a definition of a particular situation. And it's 3 months later, we still haven't seen anything, so.
I've had bylaws. That need to be reviewed for 2 years, so.
Alright, I'll call for a motion to accept the contract with Clinton Brown for 8 Friendship.
For the total of $35,000
$35,000.
with a 10% 3,500 to be paid immediately.
I'd make that motion.
Ed,
I'm gonna add to it the fact that it's effective whenever we legally think that we have ownership of that thing.
you good with that, Ed?
Yes, absolutely.
That a second, Dar?
Yep.
Any other discussion on 8 Friendship?
No, did you guys get the motion down, Kier, did you have enough time to get that?
You've
Motion,
got it written down and I just wrote pending legal.
okay, but you added the 3,500 to be paid immediately, or we can vote on it later if you have a payment.
That's fine.
Okay, so I just don't want to miss anything.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Get to work, Clinton.
Look forward to it. We're so grateful to be working with such a great group of people.
I appreciate that, but don't jump off yet, because you might think different when we get to the next thing about. I'm just kidding, but we do have another thing coming up here in a second.
You need me to sign this.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, can you sign your copy?
Yeah, let me find blue ink and I'll sign this one.
There's gonna be a fresh laying around. I don't know.
So did you include the 3,500 upfront or did you have to do that separate?
It was in the motion. Day 15.
And Clinton, since that passed, can you send us over an invoice for that 3,500? Make sure that we don't miss it.
Yes, we will. Thank you.
Or can you send one for the whole thing too? Because we might be able to get that front loaded from HCR. We get two, one for the
Yes.
whole thing and then one for the 10%, just so we can help not bankroll that whole thing.
Yes, we will.
Thank you. You ready to go to new business, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, I'm looking to go out and get quotes and be able to hire someone on the spot, so I don't have to come back next month to do this. So I'm looking to be able to go out and hire an asbestos consultant at no more than, let's say, like $150 an hour, $125 an hour, something like that. That's
How
about
much do you think this is gonna cost?
$1,000. All said and done, I'm hoping to be like someone for $100 an hour, maybe 10 hours, 120, 150 hours, maybe. So I'm guessing between 500 and $1,000 is what I'd want them to spend on it, maybe 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours. At $125 an hour is my guess. That's just off the top of my head. I'm thinking it's gonna be $125 an hour and $10.
Want more wiggle room?
Well, we're.
I would not do it by the hour, I would do it by the cost of the thing.
Well,
I was gonna suggest a motion to 1,500, up to 1,500 max. I'll make that motion.
I'll change them.
Is that enough room?
It should be, I mean, I think it'd be more than enough room for what we're trying to get. I'm doing a lot of the work for them. I'm really. Doing a lot of work for them, they're getting.
Next second. Any other discussion?
What's that?
You're so generous today.
You told us night,
We're really gonna get a lot closer.
Yeah, that's right.
What the snowmobile club calls me is a tight line.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion carried. Clinton Brown, we
Okay,
did that one.
yeah, here's another Clinton Brown this is for the 4 to 6 Main Street contract. We're looking for an increase. Up from 37,000 to increase it to 42,500, which would give us $5,500. For, did we ever write out on this? So. Well, I guess we did. Maybe?
I don't see anything.
Yeah, this page right here is being
Oh, yeah, right here.
This is something different altogether.
No, that's for over.
This is something different, so that's the third thing, okay. But this would allow, so in our first agreement, we did not, this 4 to 6 Main Street again in Friendship, we did not have them drafting RFPs for us. And now as it's getting into the more technical work, we could put them out, but it might be reinventing the wheel, and we might be missing things that Clinton Brown is a pro in the historical sense of looking at it. So this would be to
For the moth.
for mothballing. Would this get us through mothballing too, this 5,500 for helping us with RFPs and reviewing RFPs that come in? Would this get us into the next stage as well, or is this just associated with mothballing?
Yeah, yes, it will. Just quickly, by means of background, when we signed up originally, it was the intention that Allegheny County Land Bank staff would undertake the bidding. However, what changed during the process and recently became clear is that there are 5 different packages of work that can go out based on the amount of money available to pay the contractors. One package, of course, is for the electrical utility where there aren't a lot of bidders. Others, there will be other bidders. And what's happened since we first started was that the staff has become really, really busy. So we're ready to go to bid with just 2 reviews, one the final sign off by the engineer and the other the final sign off by the staff. So the timing is right to go out in the next couple of weeks for work that needs to be done on that building because it's in precarious condition. And that's what changed, is adding this service that was not in the original agreement because it was thought that staff would have time to pursue this and it would be less complicated and all the money would be available.
So how much did the staff pay him to say that?
I'll have to.
Sounds like they'll be asking for more money the next contract.
You know, there's so much going on.
Oh, hi, Clinton.
We make a monthly report just to get their attention.
I'd make the motion to amend that by what amount, $5,500.
Here, second,
Dave,
Dave, any other discussion?
I've got another motion.
No, he doesn't vote.
All in favor?
I
Anybody opposed? Good, all right.
He doesn't.
We have multiple new properties too, that have been sent to. We hired him for one property, now we have like 8. Okay, so the next item is the Genesee Valley Habitat co-development agreement. The idea with this is that we approve this here today,
In your packet.
it's in there,
And
it says that we will the long and short of it is we will transfer them the property. And we will give them up to $100,000 to, for materials. I'm thinking a lot of it is gonna go towards site prep work. You've seen the site, it's a cliff. It needs a bunch of fill, it needs a bunch of work. The way it would work is the way it's drawn out there, that we give them the property, they own the property throughout. They have to give us proof of insurance, that they're holding insurance on it. And any money that they're gonna spend of ours has to be approved by us, so we be, I'm asking them to not use it for labor. In the agreement, it says they can, but once they use it for labor, now we gotta get their workers' comp of this, people, their insurance, their auto insurance and stuff like that for commercial auto. And they wanna use the Amish, which we couldn't do anyway, so I said if it's in there, it says materials, equipment rental, or labor, but I'm leaning on them to do it more for materials, equipment rental on the front end of it. And then they would ask us for money as they do that, and that's.
can we just take out the labor, the
I was
contract?
gonna say, take the labor out of it.
Well, cause we don't wanna put them in a pinch, they might be able to do it, but I told them, they would still, it's in there, it covers us on the insurance, if they do have to give us insurance, they have to give us insurance, but I don't wanna screw them over because they might need it for the equipment rental and operation, which would be labor, and I don't wanna pigeonhole them here, but at the same time, it should be used for materials and bricks and mortar, but I also want to use it fast, as soon as they spend this, we can get into other money, get this over with.
Well, that's part of my question. So 2 parts, I guess. One, I would think that the state would want us to do the site work and pay for it, and then,
They're okay with us being a pass-through, we're kind of watching over it,
Okay.
just out of, just general principle.
Have you had this conversation with Steve?
Yeah, we've gone back and forth.
Well, I'm having dinner with him tomorrow night. I want-
Yeah, well, him and Brian Palmer, they think that I don't know how I can convey this to them, but we've been going back and forth for a couple of years now about how this is gonna work, and I think they thought that we were going to do the site work and give them 100,000, that they weren't there. No, we did the site, I was considering, they said to make it a build-ready site. I considered what we did now to make it a build-ready site, we demoed the property and cleared it up. They thought that I meant that we're gonna bring in a bunch of fill and make it ready for them to be shoveled to grow.
well, that's what the 100,000.
And then the 100,000 makeup, that was just for materials, not counting site work, so we've been back and forth a couple times last week. I think this is. The way I read it, and hopefully the way they read it, and it'll go through our legal as well, but and theirs. This isn't, what we're approving here is to prove that this is what we wanna do, we wanna give them the property and $100,000 of LBI money. And then we'll oversee that, and then we'll give it to our attorney, present them with a proposal package, so it's even more fine tuned, and then it's off our plate, so I'm not gonna be the lawyer for the thing too, but we.
I'll just stay away from any conversation on that during dinner.
Yeah, good. No, it's a pretty sweet deal for them.
Is this without reading the whole thing or no? Does this explain how we're gonna pay it out? It's not, we're giving them 100 up front.
No, it says that they have to request, so withdrawals and request draws, and
Right,
we'll request the money ahead of time. As soon as they execute this and have it duly executed, I will ask the state for it, so we will have the 100,000 here. We're not gonna. That's the goal. I mean, I assume they'll do that. They'll give us 100,000 for us to pay out as it goes.
all right.
So we're not gonna have to front load this from our.
I'd entertain a motion to approve the co-development agreement with Genesee Valley Habitat.
But I had them in reviewed by the lawyer who put this together.
So this has been reviewed by our attorney who drafted this with them. 2 different attorneys, have been doing this for a while. It's been tweaked, but yeah, this will go back to our attorney and their legal as well, but they've, Steve is an attorney, Brian Caldwell's an attorney, and they both marked this up for us too, so it's been scrutinized for sure.
I'd make that motion.
Okay. Second,
I'll second.
all right, any other discussion? All in favor? Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Grover Street.
I just asked one more.
Yep.
On
And
that,
then,
I know it's past, but. Time. What, is there a time? Line on it, they've gotta do this,
I think it is in there, I think it's 12, 18 months or something like that, I can't remember, but.
I think you said it. During your discussion, and. It's taken 2 or 3 years to get to this point,
Yeah, because.
can't wait 2 or 3 years for them.
No,
to do
yeah, a
this.
lot of it because of COVID, the site, the demo, we couldn't get this property, or we should have got this house before it went to auction, there's no way we should have had it sit on this property. This property was one of those ones that should have been handed to us 2 years ago. Doing that.
Also was getting it in our hands.
And we were gonna do a different site with them for a while, remember? And then-
am I signing this agreement now or after it's gone to our attorney?
I guess they'll call you in to sign it, but,
Okay, sorry.
she'll probably call you in to sign it, but I'm gonna let them know that you approved it before level.
Okay.
So they're gonna put another proposal with it to clear it up, clarify it, so. So. This next one is also for Clinton Brown to, increase their tax credit. Application for 31 Grover to 2,800, this will capture an extra year of tax credit. Tax credits, Clinton, do you wanna explain this better than I just did? That was terrible.
Yes, under the state historic homeownership tax credit program, there is the opportunity to get work qualified at the end of the year so that the tax credit related to that work can be given to the ultimate homeowner. When we write our contracts for this, what we call SHORTC, SHORTC program, we never know going in at the beginning of a year how much a customer or client's going to finish at the end of the year. So we say we're going to do it on an hourly basis. So what this authorizes us to do and pay for is completing what's called a Part 3 of the application form to claim the credit for the work done in 2024 and 2025. And we have to get this in by December 30th in order to have those credits available. We will then make a new application in January for the balance of the work that will be done. That's the way the program works. And there will be the opportunity to capture the credits for the work accomplished in 2025.
Make a motion to approve this increase.
Here. Second, Brian. Quinn, are your fees, tax credit as well towards the tax? Yes.
Yes, they're called qualified rehabilitation expenditures, QREs, and hard and soft costs. Most hard and soft costs are QREs.
Okay, great. Okay, any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, thanks, Ben, you can hop off whenever, that's everything that you're on for the day. You're off the hook, except we just gotta vote to pay you now.
Thank you, everyone. All the best wishes for all the holidays.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Glenn, I expect a call from you later this afternoon. I have some things to chat, is that all right?
I'm sorry, say again?
Can you take a call after lunch?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
here all afternoon.
All right, I'll talk to you later. Thanks.
All right, the survey for Waitsville, James Ball.
Yeah, if you look at the site survey map, there's a call out or like a zoom in. Our lot line goes into their driveway, or their driveway comes into our lot line, depends on if you wanna The last one, so what happened in this is that we went back and forth with the neighbor's house, when it was deeded back in the late 1800s. They did the lot line measurements off of the house, so the house was 33.75 feet off of the house where the lot line to the west is, which would be our border. That was an old hotel then, the hotel was modified to be a home and it decreased the footprint of the building. So now when they came and did another one back in the 90s, they measured off that building, but the building was 19 feet shorter, so now the lot line was moved over 19 feet. And there was some discrepancies and some disagreement on where the lot should have been. And if you look at the old deed maps, and there's not too many maps of these sections that are on file or certified. So we looking at the way the old map and where the lot lines were from the house beyond that, we had the big tape out and we figured that it would straighten out the whole street, because the whole street now is off by 19.45 feet. If we give it back to them, we'll fix the lot lines all the way going down the hill or down the street. So if we move this east boundary over 19.45 feet, it would be, it would correct it would decrease our lot size by 19.45 feet, but it would take away that.
But they would mean that it's only 10 feet away from our property.
From that building, we just haven't put up
Yeah.
anymore, but yeah.
When measured out physically, that's where the property line actually ends up, is 10 feet off the property.
So where are we gonna put the house? Are we gonna slam it right up against that line?
No, we figured going in, so there's two houses, right now they're like this on the road frontage, we're thinking about putting them like this, put one back further and have a middle driveway that services both of them, so they're not facing each other and they're staggered offset.
Shared driveways don't work well.
I was gonna say,
Well, it could be
that's,
a double driveway, it doesn't have to be one shared driveway, you love enough room to
Yeah,
have two
there's no-
side by side driveways with a fence on the middle, so it'll climb, but I'm just thinking. Yeah, but double wide driveway, doesn't have to be shared, or it could even have one service, that driveway on this side, another one on the other side of the house, there's a lot of room we can do. There's more room than if we stagger them, than it looks,
We are still thinking about putting two houses back on this lot.
yeah, that's what the.
This is where we're planning on putting a couple of the.
Cross on street.
how wide are those things?
30 by 60, I think they are, 20 by 60,
And are we putting them
depending
lengthwise
on
or?
the
are we
modular
putting-
you get.
I was thinking like putting them in like,
Lengthwise,
yeah. Well, I mean, again, once we get these properties gone, there's trees there that we didn't take down, we have to look at, we'll have to relook at where they're going, but there's plenty of room, I think that.
You put them at an angle in there, one. There's room.
Yeah, I mean, there maybe the front one facing the road, maybe the other one. And I don't know, like, we have to look at it, but. Ultimately, the Jim Ball said he'll do this work for free, but he just needs us to sign off that we're okay with him moving that lot line over to the 19.45 feet. We could have just done it set 6 feet and got off the guy's driveway, but we chose the 19.45 because it matches up with the old maps and where this, somewhere along the line, the discrepancy happened. So there's,
So he just draws the maps and then what, they send them to the county or whatever?
We sign off on it, we sign off on redrawing, allowing him to do that. We sign off on it, then the county would have to take it and read, just like when we do our survey. They would change the new survey, he would pay for the new survey of his lot, incorporate that to it. We would have on our survey a signed off 19 point whatever feet to his property.
he'll give us a new plat with the,
Do we have to have an agreement between us and him, the neighbor,
no, we just
to
gotta,
transfer that 19 feet?
no,
No,
if we move it, if we tell Jim Ball to move it, it moves our line over and our line goes to there, and what he gains, what we, there's no legal. Rule involved.
That doesn't sound right.
No, because he's gonna,
well, it's illegal, he's legal, all is legally certified.
Yeah,
So once it becomes his survey, it becomes a
yeah,
document basically, so.
that's what he told us too, and Jim Ball was there, Jim Ball did the last survey that he has on his property, well,
But he bases it off somebody else's survey,
correct.
cause he doesn't, if he's doing this property A, he doesn't measure property B, he measures off property A. Property A is wrong, my property B is gonna be wrong, which the property C is gonna be off. So that's what.
He can't legally change any of those other ones without that engineer.
Someone did a
signing.
crappy survey in the eighties, in the early nineties or eighties.
92.
92, someone did a crappy survey and they measured off the house instead of looking at the original deed, which the language wasn't good, he said, Jim Ball said, he goes, yeah, I can see why they did it wrong. But they should have, instead of taking estimates from the neighbor, because there wasn't proper deed language, they should have measured off of both houses, and then they would have said, oh, there's a gap, one of these is wrong, you know, they didn't. It's.
He paid for his own survey, not everybody else's.
Okay. So motion for Jim Ball to adjust the boundary lines on 607 Main Street, Whitesville at his cost.
So. So we're giving away 2,660 feet, approximately, probably a little more,
100.
Where, talking back six, this is for
it's a little
19.
more than that, because
Yeah.
I didn't put the point for it, but.
I mean, we're giving it away, I guess you would say that technically, if you really look back, he's got all the previous older
And you can see that
drawings
there's a,
that are there.
At the
We're not
corners.
giving it back. We're-
at the new corner, we just pointed out, there's two big trees, like there was.
Yeah, those trees are. it's
They
been-
just how they talked, but those trees there when they were.
27, 23. Square feet, just so you know.
So we need a motion?
We think that,
Well, I think if we don't do it. And the neighbor sells his house. And the survey is done and discovered at that point, I think we're screwed.
Yeah, we're selling a
If we
conflict.
build a house already in that 19.45 feet. So it might better. I'd rather give half of it away, but
yeah, is there really any gain to it for us? So if you go down there and look at it, it's the driveway that they built to their thought, their standard. And what ours says is 19 feet over. The older gentleman initially thought, well, I built my driveway in the middle of your guys' property. But after he went back and looked at his stuff, he's like, well, no, mine's right. What's wrong with yours? So we've been talking about this for 5 months now. Since we knew there was a discrepancy there, once we got the surveys done, now we brought it together, he's got the proper. It's really their property, it's just been overlooked and overlapped for years. So are we really losing anything? Not really, is it worth building on that area?
Pretty much
Not
giving it
really.
back what's
We
actually.
had a motion, Dave?
It's rightfully there.
Yeah,
that's a motion.
Okay, second,
This is the right thing.
Brian Little,
Suck it up and
yeah,
be done with it, Trail.
all in favor?
We could sell it.
All in favor? Anybody opposed?
We bought.
All right, motion carried. Now we got pay some bills.
I add, oh wait, nothing for the first two.
I think. If you know something 5 months ahead of time, maybe we could have known.
Oh, he didn't know, he had said.
Earlier?
He had
Yeah,
said.
we only
Yeah,
bought.
yeah,
it.
yeah. Just the- Till the survey came out, it was just, he said,
Yeah,
said, so we're, yeah, okay, we'll see.
All right, we got two administrative invoices, fourth sector, Glenn Smith.
Make a motion to pay those two.
Second,
Sure.
here, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, pay those bills, we've
I
got,
just have something for the capital invoices, we just approved that Clinton Brown increase. We never approved the payment, so. You remember the one that here just made the motion to do the increase to the short sleeve and bring over over? We increased the 2,800, but we did not, just let you know, we didn't, that wasn't approved to pay, because we haven't been billed for that. That's one thing, and I didn't get this in the packet because it was here. $325 for the survey of the land in Houghton. Doesn't really need a board approval, but since it's here, we got it over here, and you guys are all
We
here.
did the survey.
Wilkins appraisals. Wilkins Realty appraisals, and
how much is that?
$325. That'd be to add to the other, and then and I think we approved the 3,500 spending in the, within that other motions, right? Am I right by saying that? Just make sure we missed, okay, so, and then we're not paying.
Just to recap, so we've got an additional 3 checks coming, 3,500 for Clinton, 2,500 for Clinton,
Note, the 2,800 is not gonna be a check all in one, that's just an increase to the budget to be used.
Okay, so that was not paid.
Not pay, just an increase to the budget, that's what.
All right, then the 330 feet.
325, so you'll be getting 325 check and a 3,500 check. Later date.
So these three Clinton Brown invoices equal to 14,950.
Correct.
Well, so what, I don't see a second one for Jim Ball, did I miss that?
Should be.
Line 16.
We're back to back.
It was online, but
It's probably, I'm not.
Must have gotten, far.
I only see one. It was online in the packet. Okay. You actually looked at one?
I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm still doing it.
I was gonna say, yeah, I read both of them.
Okay.
We appreciate that.
So. And then Ptolemy must be online too.
It's not in there?
Nope.
Totem was online also.
Okay.
That was all, sorry, that was all, I thought they were all, I don't know what happened.
I couldn't remember what it was for, that's why I remembered.
That's a
Alright.
problem with my printer, I gotta use it.
Let's have a motion to pay the capital invoices. How about somebody that's read them online? Brian,
I have a one.
second,
Ed with an E.
any other discussion? All in favor? Opposed, pay the bills.
So we have to pick out a new date?
Yes.
Could be the, what,
Oh, is this the?
or the 26th, or it could be later in that same week, however you guys wanna do it, but, I have bids coming back on the 9th just to make sure that we have time, so, so I'm good with either, but.
So let's talk about what things we need to accomplish and the speed of them. Is delayed till the 26th. You're
I'd
gonna
rather
do it the 12th, I would
I'd rather
think,
do the 12th,
especially if we have RFPs
because
coming
we have
in.
RFPs coming in, and we'll
We've got
have,
money to
we'll have
spend.
all Clinton Brown's drawings back too, so we might be able to put out even more RFP available. And those grants might be back.
I don't think I'm here on the 26th anyway,
So what are you
12
saying?
works for me.
12, 9 AM,
Huh?
the 12th,
At 9 AM.
The 12th, I won't be available.
You also do Tuesday after MLK Day.
I have it down for the 19th.
Right, that's Martin Luther King.
19th is the.
We always have to move January, February,
You just move it a day.
building's not even open.
What about moving it to the Tuesday after, so should just moving it back a day, so.
I'm fine with that.
Either way,
That's,
Background.
I got brownfields and stuff.
at 10:30, we could get out of here then.
That's kind of hanging out of it now.
I can't be.
You're not getting out of here.
I can do Mondays or Thursdays, but I can't do anything else.
22nd doesn't work. No, that's leadership presentation.
Is the only date. Does anybody else have a conflict with the 12th?
Was it what date?
12th, just down.
You said you can,
I won't be here. I'll be in Rochester.
I got, at this point in time, it's clear,
I would just assume do the 12th and
unless it snows somewhere.
Alright, fill it up at, well, both of this. All day.
are we gonna do the same thing in February, a week from now?
probably should, because otherwise you're gonna be.
That makes a huge gap if you.
I'll be gone.
Oh, there'll be committee meetings January, February, and March, will have committee meetings. And Brian, can you designate on the record that March will be our annual meeting? Yeah, I just heard you do it, so
Yeah,
that's good.
on March 16th, we'll have our annual meeting.
Good idea.
February 9th, we're both gone. That's probably gonna be gone. There's snow on the ground.
Perfect.
Oh, that takes us to 23rd.
Right, February, when we meeting,
We aren't yet. Cause right now, we do the 9th, the week before.
how do
right?
we get from the second week for the, from the
Same thing in February, that's
President's
President's Day. We remember every year we have this
Oh.
issue.
I'm not available on the night.
So that's 3 of us, so we're not doing the 9th.
About 17th.
Tuesday after President's Day.
That's the Lunar New Year.
And probably not available.
You got the Lunar New Year.
I should be back then.
What
Yeah,
about the 23rd?
I'm fine with that as well.
Following Monday. Makes for a real short March meeting.
All in it,
You can join Zoom, right? If you're not able.
Yeah.
but you can't
It
vote.
won't give us a quorum, but you can just join.
I go to Florida for the month of February.
We'll all meet you down there, we'll have it right
Shut
there.
up.
I can write it off somehow.
Yeah.
There.
23rd works for me. Does it work for you?
I'm just saying that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 weeks between meetings was my only concern. If everybody else is fine with 6 weeks,
Between which meetings, January, February,
January, February,
we'll be rolling, I don't know, we were rolling.
we'll be rolling.
1, 2,
I mean, we have a
3, 4, 5.
we have a lot going on with committees this year, I hope we can squeeze it all in, so there's gonna be a lot going back and forth via emails, because the authority budget office comptrollers that, if increased their oversight on.
And I know you can't do the 17th.
Their politics change.
Issue with paying bills.
It could be. If we get invoices right after the,
So instead of going 6 weeks, can you go the week before?
that's what I was saying, I can't do Tuesday, but is everybody else good with the 17th?
Such the day after.
Day after President's Day.
Not awesome, but we might be able to flex it, I guess.
Well, we don't have to decide that today, but let's tentatively say the 17th for February. And we'll make the final decision in January.
January is definitely not 12.
Yes.
Cause the 17th, that's not gonna be able to do it. So there'll be 2 of us that are maybes right away. Okay,
Motion to adjourn at 10:37.
So moved. Add with an E.
what was the March date?
We didn't do much.
March should be the same.
3rd Monday.
back to our regular scheduled program.
So we put it in.
Yeah, March.
I could move that.
Nobody.
We don't have a second yet.
Second.